The thing about my agency is that we take a very personal approach to things. A lot of agencies, I think, are very impersonal. I think they're literally, you know, if you're a fan of Mad Men or you've ever read Confessions of an Advertising Man, that's not the kind of agency I run. And in fact, I went to see a builder one time, and he was working out of a trailer, and it was a pretty shabby trailer at that. And he said to me, "Mike, you don't look like the typical advertising guy." And I thought, well, that's a compliment. I take that as a big compliment that someone would say that to me, because I don't want to be the typical advertising guy. I don't want to be the guy that jumps over a table and slugs the client because he changed 2 words of copy in an ad. Or the guy that literally throws people out of their office if they don't agree with him. You know, honestly, I have thought about throwing people out of my office. But generally you compose yourself and you just understand. We're not in a garret. We're not painting in a garret somewhere. We're working with human beings. We all have foibles. We all have problems. But I try to work with people. When a guy called me one day and he told me that he owned a local ice cream store in a mall, in the local mall, and he had decided to acquire some fudge from a place in Canada, and he needed packaging. He came in, we sat down, we spent about 2 hours in my office, and we created the packaging for him. We take on all comers. One day I get a call from a friend of mine who's an attorney, and he said to me, "I have a friend who's an attorney that's opening another office." He happened to be opening in South Philly. You know, down in South Philly. Right. So I called the guy up and I said, you know, what exactly do you think you need? Well, we got together, we talked, and out of that came a business card magnet, which he used for a mailing to send to residents of South Philly. We created a list for him and everything else. And then in addition to that, we wound up doing radio commercials for the guy. And we did a whole series. In fact, you know, he did like an hour infomercial. I sat there and wrote questions and gave them to the commentators so he could, you know, have a basis for asking him questions about things. Then another time, and out of that, frankly, came other attorneys. This was a personal injury attorney. Then I had another personal injury attorney call me and said, "I heard the radio commercials. This is how business works generally, through recommendation." And that's how we've gotten a lot of our business. You know, people call and say, "Who's doing your? Who did those radio commercials for you?" So out of that, we got another law firm, who we wound up doing a whole series of TV commercials for. And I'm very proud of this. I thought they were great. It was called Legal Briefs, and it was really, literally, I mean, it was a great concept, because the owners of the company actually were talking. The one guy was in, you know, one of the. He was in the Trial Lawyers Association. He had been president, so he's a pretty knowledgeable guy, and he had a good on-camera presence. What I just want to get across is that, you know, I take the business very personally. We're not an 800 number. We're not online. Literally, I'll drive an hour or up to 3 hours to meet with a client to find out what it is they need. You know, in today's world, of course, you can do a GoToMeeting, you can do a webinar, and you can talk literally to the person right over the internet, and that's fine. But I want them to see that there's flesh and blood, that there's a heart beating here, and hopefully a pretty good mind that you know, takes what they're telling me and turns it into something. So, you know, we're pretty creative in our own right. We've won a lot of awards for our work. We were very involved with the Home Builders Association at times, in the Apartment Association. So that was kind of my focus, was on the real estate end.